Welcome to Goat Island. I'm your host, the Big Ka Huzzi, and this is your weekly entertainment and history. What's up with series, anyway? This week, we're looking at a different series type, as we do every week, and the type for this week is fantasy. A lot of options of great shows, but the GOAT, undeniably, Game of Thrones. This gets a 8 out of 10 from the island. It would have been higher, but that ending was shit. Big Mouth returns to Netflix this Friday, and thank God it's the last season. Honestly, fell off after season 3, sorry, not season 8. But they decided to keep on going until now, season 8. Recently, we binged the show Daredevil Born Again, and let's fucking go. This doesn't only set the scene for the return of multiple Netflix Marvel characters, but it also means that all these characters and the Devil of Hell's Kitchen are officially in the MCU. Plus, there's Fisk. So, it's just yes. Doesn't matter the question. The answer is yes. Can you imagine? Nowadays, people can't wait for a new episode to drop on Disney Prime or Netflix. But back then, you not only had to wait for the show there. If you missed even 5 minutes, there was no going back and watching it later. No. That was it. Times were simpler, and now we're just greedy consumers. Let's switch from the short stuff and check in on movies. Now, every week we rate a different category of movie where we pick the GOAT movie and give it a rating. This week's category is buddy comedy. Starsky and Hutch, Wedding Crashers, Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart. That sort of thing. And the GOAT buddy comedy is 22 Jump Street. Now, you might ask me, why 22 and not 21? And the answer is 21 had a ceiling on how funny and how epic a buddy comedy could be. And then 22 just broke through the ceiling. If you know, you know. 9 out of 10. Hurry Up Tomorrow came out last weekend. I didn't watch it. I refuse. I saw that one clip of The Weeknd sounding like a Disney teen actor and nearly threw my phone at the fucking wall. He said the album of the same name didn't exist before this movie, and makes fucking sense, because that shit was also trash. In all honesty, I'll try and watch it when I have some more time, but how do you go from featuring a masterpiece like Uncut Gems with Andy Sham to this garbage? At this point, I'd say our prediction was right, because unless Nani is going to throw up a legendary level ass-shaking in the live-action Lilo and Stitch, it's the Thunderbolts or New Avengers with no if, buts, or maybes as the movie of the month. Now is the time that we talk about the movies we don't need this month, and honestly, I think we don't need Hurry Up Tomorrow. Didn't need the album. Don't need able acting. Just now. Why, you ask? Google Hurry Up Tomorrow review and check any of the ratings. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck is that, Abel? Enough of movies. Let's get into DSPs. This week, I'll be honest, I haven't watched much other than YouTube. But I think with Big Mouth coming out this weekend and Blood of Zeus 2 weeks ago, our prediction for DSP of the month was right on the money with Netflix, Over to film and studios and drama. So last week, DC put out this teaser for the new Superman movie, and it ended with the words, trailer tomorrow. And why would you do that? Because, the next day, before DC could release the final trailer, which actually looked good, Marvel said, wait, this is your biggest upcoming release. The biggest movie coming. And you're doing a trailer drop. fuck you, DC. Here you go, world. Here's the trailer for one of our Disney Plus series that's coming out soon too. And no, we weren't going to drop it today, but why not just to mess with DC? At this point, it's just mean. I know the trailer wasn't even great, but it did what it needed to, which was take attention away from DC. We normally bring you some sort of drama related to Hollywood or whatever, but like, is that not drama enough? Headline: Kevin Feige reminds James Gunn that DC's best is still not the same as when Marvel doesn't even try. Now, Disney is of course, the GOAT studio. And this week we're rating another era of Disney with the revival era, 2010 to present. And I mean, this is a 6 out of 10 only, lots of hits, lots of misses. But it just shows that the studio has confidence in their ability to always just make more, make better, and it gave us more wonder. So yeah, not a complete L. Time to be like Marty McFly and go back in time for some history. This week's petty boy in history is Qin Shi Huang. China's first emperor couldn't give two shits about what you thought if it didn't match his energy. He had academics buried alive, burned libraries just because books had passages that contradicted him. And you had to know your place around the boy. Even if he was wrong, he stood on business. Savage. Anyway, this week's historical movie that just didn't stick to the script is Troy. And this hurts because I love it with that intro. Men are haunted by the vastness of eternity. And so we ask ourselves, will our actions echo across the centuries? But in reality, Achilles was, dead before the Trojan Horse incident, so kind of just bullshit story having Brad Pitt there with that blonde wig. Did you know there's a city that made Alexander the Great give up? It was called Termessos, a savage little mountain city in ancient Turkey, built so high up, it was basically the original "You Can't Sit With Us." Alexander pulled up in 333 BCE, fresh off of world domination mode, thinking this was going to be light work. But Termessos? Nah, they stayed silent. Played it cool. Then lured him into a tight mountain pass. The second he entered, boom, ambush, arrows, boulders, chaos. The vibe's unwelcoming. Alexander realized real quick, this fight ain't worth it. So the man who conquered Persia literally turned around and left. Yup. One of the only places he couldn't conquer. Never underestimate mountain people. Think about Khabib. History stays undefeated. Now, as a series, this would be interesting, but probably low budgeted. And probably like those History Channel documentaries with cutscenes of historical retelling. So that would probably be like a 3 out of 10. But as a movie, not too well-known story, not yet displayed on the big screen, epic budget. Nah, this would be a 8 or 9 out of 10 at least. That's a wrap for this week's entertainment and history drop. And you can like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts, drop a comment. And from Goat Island, this is the Big Ka Huzzi. We'll check you again.